I mentioned a litany of names a moment ago, but I didn't mention Graham Crawford or Henry Wynn, both of whom were in that shot right there. And Ernest Cabet also. I mean, it really is a who's who when you look at the field for the men's 5,000 meters. You look at the meet and ACC records. That ACC record has stood for a long time as they fire the gun. And the men are off on what is, dare I say, a pleasant night in Tallahassee for mid-May. In terms of the weather, it could be a lot more oppressive, I assure you, as they use a two-alley start once more, and they are out in the 5,000 meters. Tom Block with you. Lauren Williams will be back in the booth here momentarily. Just got to wait for the men to clear across the track and get back up top. But when you talk about this field, Louis Vargas, I mentioned, who we've seen run strong here in this competition. He's the current ACC Men's Track Performer of the Week after debuting in this event and faring very, very well. He came in with the 5th best seed time. Justin Knight of Syracuse is the defending champ in the 1500. Was first in the 3,000 meters at the ACC indoors and the 5,000, so certainly we got to pay attention to him. Shawn Thompson from Duke, a graduate student for the Blue Devils, very, very talented. Thomas Curtin, we have seen run unbelievably well over the last 18 months or so, including here, the ACC championships in November or late October, also earlier this week. So interestingly, not running as a pack here, as a couple have moved out in front early on in the men's 5K. We're going to be joined by Virginia Tech's head coach momentarily, but before we do so, we'll step aside. Early stages of the men's 5K as we are wrapping things up from the ACC Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Tallahassee. Stay with us. Welcome back to the ACC Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Tom Block along with 4-time Olympian, 3-time Olympic medalist Lauren Williams. And you can see that the men's 5K is underway. A pair of Duke Blue Devils running out in front, William Hague and Shawn Thompson. And then Colin Bennie from Syracuse currently holding down the 3rd position. Then Mark Derrick from North Carolina. And Thomas Curtin from Virginia Tech, which is a perfect segue as I introduce the next gentleman who will join us, Dave Shinelli, the head coach, director of track and field and cross country at Virginia Tech. And before we talk about Thomas, congratulations, because you guys put a big number on the board day one in the pole vault, and everybody was looking up at you all meet long, couldn't get there. Your team is the outdoor track and field champions this year. Yeah, I don't think it's really hit me yet. You know, with the meet still going on, you got people still competing. But, yeah, the kids put together incredible 3 days, and could be more prouder of them and the coaches, obviously. Well, you knew you were going to get a big number in the pole vault, but even you, despite the seeds coming in, couldn't have banked on the first 7 positions in 38 out of 39 possible points. No, didn't expect that at all. I mean, the guys kind of, you know, said that that's what they wanted to do, and I said, go ahead and do it. And but I wasn't expecting it. But it gave us a great jump start, you know, on the first day. And it really kind of rolled from there. Well, including at the end of the first day, Thomas Curtin, who we see running 3rd right now with what he was able to do. And he's, I've seen him run now the last 2 years here and at the cross-country championships. And I don't know when he gets tired, but it's clearly not at the end of races because he has an unbelievable kick to him. He does. He's deceptive. So, Tommy, if he's in the race with, you know, a quarter to go, 1 lap to go, he usually can run most people down. And he was able to do that in cross country and the 10,000. And now he's trying to come back in the 5. This is the first time at the conference that he's done a 10-5 double. Well, let me ask you about that, because the team title is decided at this point. You've got regionals and NCAAs coming up, an Olympic year, all that. This is a big exertion for him in a 48-hour span.
Yeah, but it's something that he wanted to do, even though, you know, the title is pretty much wrapped up at this point, team title, but he wanted to try to go for 2 individual titles in the 5 and the 10. So, you know, and he's a very competitive athlete, and we were supporting that, and he's healthy. So we said, yeah, let's do it.
Well, you can see he's running 3rd right now. Colin Bennie of Syracuse running 2nd. Shawn Thompson of Duke is leading. We had a Duke, I think it was a Duke runner that got forced off the track. Question and yeah, he just pulls up, and I beg your pardon, he wasn't forced off the track, but he just pulled up and pulled out. That was Hague, who was leading early on.
As an athlete, it's really important to listen to your body, and we saw an athlete go down shortly after the women's 5,000 race. It is not as humid as we've seen out here for distance runners, but it's still a pretty hot day for a distance runner.
Yeah, typically in these championship distance races, it's more tactical, and the runners are going for places and not necessarily trying to run, you know, qualifying times or anything like that. It's all, you know, head to head and trying to score for their teams.
Well, Coach, this is going to be your program's first outdoor championship, I think, since 2012. And when you look back over the last maybe decade and a half on the men's side in the ACC outdoor, it's really been a predominantly Florida State with Clemson mixed in, and now you can say that you've broken through into that top level, I guess, now winning another one.
Yeah, Florida State for years was really the standard bearer in the conference in track and field on the men's side, and so, you know, over the years, this is my 15th at Virginia Tech, they were always the program that we were, you know, trying to go after and emulate, and you know, we were finally able to get that first outdoor title in 2012. And our first indoor title back in 09. So, yeah, it's been a good run. This group of athletes, especially the seniors, we have great senior leadership, and most successful teams have that, and we certainly have that.
How does this team stack up for the regionals and the nationals? I mean, I know we talked about what you did in the pole vault, and I've seen Thomas Curtin run, and those are all going to be national-type contenders.
Yeah, the conference is a little different, obviously, you know, than the nationals. It's you can't necessarily compare. The high quality kids at this meet will be obviously at the national meet and scoring points. I think we got several teams that could be in the conference that could vie for top 10 positions at the national championships. So, and we're one of those. I feel like our men's team, you know, could be a top 10 team, and so we'll definitely, you know, go out there with as many athletes as we can qualify through the regional meet, and you know, do what we can in Eugene.
Well, so we're watching Thomas Curtin, who's just kind of lying in the weeds right now. What's his strategy for this race here tonight?
Well, right now he's just kind of feeling the pace. Typically in a race like this, he'll just stay on the pace center and then try to make a move. Typically with maybe you know, a lap or 600 meters to go. The pace will start to pick up here as we get closer to the finish. And he'll kind of just mimic that pace, and hopefully he'll have something left here at the end, you know, and maybe get a title here.
Colin Bennie running out in front. You can see the pack is separated. It's really about 7 or 8 in that lead pack. Well, we're talking about nationals. Here's where you stack up in terms of this is ACC teams that are ranked nationally, and you're the highest of any of them. So I know you're pleased about that. But track is one of those things that you get a chance to go out there and prove it each and every meet.
That's exactly right. I mean, the rankings don't mean a lot, you know, going into a meet, because you always have upsets, and so, you know, it has to be proven on the track and in the field. And so we don't. It's nice to be ranked, but you don't really pay that much attention to it, you know, once you get to the conference or national championships. So as you can see, the pace is picking up here.
It definitely is, and it's some of the heavyweights that are in the midst of this. That's Colin Bennie for Syracuse, but Edwin Kibichiy from Louisville now has made his way to the front of the pack, and Vargas from NC State has come on strong too.
Absolutely. This group of distance runners right here. I mean, this is all these guys are national class distance runners, and our conference, the ACC conference, is probably the deepest in the distance races. with the 15 teams that we have. So, and this is just, you know, it's showing that this group here, any one of these runners could win this race here in this top group.
Just a couple of laps to go in the men's 5K as we sort it out. It's Kibichiy out in front, then Colin, Bennie. Louis Vargas running third. Shawn Thompson of Duke fourth. Then Thomas Curtin fifth. Another runner steps off. Early on, we might have had a pace setter that bowed out for Duke. Here's another that just bows out pretty deep into the race here.
And moments ago, an athlete from Louisville as well, Ernest Kibichiy, walked off of the track.
Well, Kibichiy was the defending 10K champ at the ACC Outdoors.
Coach, how frequently does something like that happen in a race like this? We have 2 or 3 athletes that...
Occasionally. It possibly could be related to the heat, even though it's a little cooler right now. It certainly happens sometimes.
Well, the bell sounds, 1 lap to go. That pace picks up even more. Curtin of Virginia Tech running 5th, but it's Bennie out in front, Kibichiy behind him, Shawn Thompson from Duke. That trio trying to pull ahead a little bit. Vargas 4th and Curtin 5th. Remember, we talked about his kick. How much will he have left after running a 10K the other night? I wouldn't bet against him. We'll see. Bennie for Syracuse.
We'll see. He's kind of caught here. He's got to get to the outside.
He's looking for a lane to pass, and there's just not much room. Vargas for NC State, the current ACC track performer of the week, strong. But here comes Curtin again, trying to trace down Vargas. When does Curtin ever tire as they head for home in the 5K? For Virginia Tech, the Hokies already the team champions, and Thomas Curtin trying to bring home another gold medal, and he is sprinting home. That's how much is left in the tank. A double gold for Thomas Curtin. Then Vargas, Kibichiy, and Thompson. And what a finish for Thomas Curtin. I saw a fist pump from you, Coach. Well deserved. It's unbelievable to watch him run.
Yeah, incredible. He's been an incredible athlete and a much better individual. You know, this is his senior year, and obviously we're gonna miss him. But well deserved. He's worked so hard, and you know, I'm really happy for him.
Do you know anything about his plans post-collegiately?
Well, I think he's going to go ahead and run post-collegiately. I'm not sure where he will be at, but he wants to run post-collegiately. So after the NCAAs and the trials, you know, he'll find a spot to train. I think he's the type of athlete could go on and develop, you know, to a higher level.
Well, Coach, I don't have a say in this vote, but when you talk about the performer for this meet outdoors, to me, you got Tevin Hester and you got Thomas Curtin. It's hard to bet against. They're both double gold winners, but double gold in a 10K, 5K, that's something. Look at him.
Right. Yeah, this is trademark. I mean, he just measures it perfectly, and he just has that kick and deceptive speed. He really has deceptive speed at the end of races. So, great race for Tommy, and couldn't be prouder.
Well, Coach, I'll let you go celebrate with your latest champion. Congratulations again on a team championship, and best of luck to you the rest of the way here, regionals,
Thank
postseason,
you so
and all
much.
that.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That is Dave Chinelli, the Virginia Tech Director of Track and Field and Cross Country. And tell you what a great weekend it's been in Tallahassee for Virginia Tech as you look at those final results. I said at the start of the race that it really was a who's who in terms of distance runners from the ACC, and not surprisingly, they're all showing up at the top of that leaderboard. Curtin the win, Vargas the silver, Edwin Kibichiy from Louisville with the bronze, then Shawn Thompson and Colin, Bennie rounding out the top 5. One more event to go. That's the 4x4 on the ladies and men's side. We'll get to it when we come back to Tallahassee right after this. The ACC Outdoor Track and Field Championships at Mike Long Track. What a weekend it's been, and we are down to one final event, and that will be the 4x4 for the women. It goes with the double-double or the double gold in the 10K and the 5K. Congratulations there as he gets the win. Great race. 10 more points for Virginia Tech as Thomas Curtin brings it home. And he is standing by with our Lauren Williams. Lauren, take it away.
Thomas, congratulations. 10K and 5K victory this weekend. The coach was telling us that you chose to do both of these races, that you had an option, you didn't really necessarily have to. What was in that decision making?
I mean, this is my final ACCs, and it's really hit me this week that this is the end. So, you know, what better way to go out than the double and winning both.
Tell us a little bit about your race strategy in this.
Same as before. I mean, I feel a little tired from the 10K, so definitely my calves. So, you know, just sit on the leaders and see how the pace goes.
Was there anything in particular you did to make sure that you could recover between the two races?
Some easy running, some pool and icing and stretching, and that's pretty much it.
Can you tell us a little bit about your senior year and what you plan to do going forward?
I mean, my senior year has been great so far. I'd say I had a little hiccup in the indoor season, but I mean, it wasn't bad. Just not up to my expectations, and this has been great. I'm hoping to go into nationals and compete for the title in the 5K and go forward from there.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Individual titles ×2.